Alright, in Unit 4, Part 2, we're going to focus on converting clean systems of measurement. At the end of Unit 4, Part 1, we looked at conversion factors, but they were all from the same type of measurement. So now we're going to go into clean measurement. So I copied and pasted this chart out of your book. It's got a bunch of like weird conversions, ones that you wouldn't know off the top of your head. So we'll use those as the student. So it says converting units of measure. It says complete the statement, round to the nearest whole number. So for the first one, we want to know, turn 56 kilograms into pounds. Now if you look, it looks like it has a squiggly equal sign. That means approximately. Because we're not going to get exactly the right amount, because we'll wind up with decimal thing. So it's going to be approximately pounds. And if you look, the direction said to round to the nearest whole number, so it's not going to work exactly accurate. So for the first one, we're starting with 56 kilograms, so just like in Unit 1, we're going to do 56 kilograms, we're going to put that over 1. Now, our conversions are going to be a series of multiplying fractions, and you have to do it the way that I show you. So we're going to multiply. I need a conversion from kilograms to pounds, which if you look up here on your chart, I have that right here. Okay, so 1 pound is equal, or is approximately 0.454 kilograms. So, coming back down, for my next fraction, since kilograms were the numerator of the first one, I want kilograms to be the denominator of the next one, which means pounds are going to go on top. So, 1 pound is approximately 0.454 kilograms. So, I'm going to multiply those and cancel out kilograms. Sorry, before I do that, I'm going to multiply. I'll get 56 over 0.454. So then in my calculator, I'm going to divide. When I round that to the nearest whole number, I get 123, and my unit that's left over is pounds. Let's look at another example. So we have, for number 2, we're going 36 quarts to liters. We want to go from quarts to liters. So again, I start by writing my first amount, which in this case is 36 quarts. I'm going to put that over 1, and then it's going to be just multiplying fractions from there. I'm looking for a conversion from quarts to liters, which I find right there. So quarts were the numerator of the first one, so they become the denominator of the second one. Which means liters is going to be on top. My conversion is 1 quart to 0.946 liters. Now I can multiply, and when I do that, these quarts are going to cancel out. 36 times 0.946, and then rounding it to the nearest whole number is 34. My unit that's left over is liters. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let you try what should be number 3 by yourself, going from pounds to kilograms. Remember, you have to show your work the way I do. For the next one, it says comparing units of measure. So we want to decide which one's greater, 13 kilometers or 7 miles. Now, to do that, we're going to have to either turn 13 kilometers into miles or 7 miles into kilometers. I'm going to take 7 miles and turn it into kilometers. So I have 7 miles over 1, and then I'm going to multiply. Since miles is on the top of the first one, I know that miles is going to be on the bottom of the second one. And then my conversion is 1.609 kilometers to 1 mile. So I know miles are going to cancel out. 7 times 1.609 is going to give me approximately 11 kilometers. So now I have to decide what's bigger, 13 kilometers or 11 kilometers. 11 kilometers is bigger. Sorry, 13 kilometers is bigger. So I act like I'm eating that one. So 13 kilometers is greater than 7 kilometers. 11 kilometers is just 7 miles. Sorry about all that. Alright, I'm going to leave number 2 for you guys. Remember, you have to convert one of those to the other unit of measure so that you can compare. On the back side, now we're going to use multiple conversions. On the front, we only need to do 1 conversion. Now on the back, we're going to use a couple. You're still going to need to use the the chart from the front of the first page to help you with some of these conversions. So we want to go from 3 miles to meters. So I'm going to start with 3 miles over 1. Now I don't have a conversion from miles to meters. So I have to go miles to kilometers first. So I'm going to go miles to kilometers to meters. Okay. So miles was on the top of the first one, so it's on the bottom of the second one, which means kilometers is on top. 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. Now I need to do my second conversion, which is going to give me kilometers to meters. Kilometers is on the top, so now it needs to be on the bottom. Meters is on the top. I know 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Before we actually do any multiplying, we need to cancel out units. Miles on the top, cancel out miles on the bottom. Kilometers on the top, cancel out kilometers on the bottom. Then I can multiply 3 times 1.609 times 1,000, and that's going to give me 4,827. My only unit left is meters. Again, that's approximate, but I'm just rounding to the nearest place. Scrolling down to number 2, I'm going from quarts to milliliters. So I'm going to start by writing my original one, 9 quarts over 1. Now, again, I cannot go from quarts straight to milliliters. I have to go from quarts to liters, liters to milliliters. So quarts is on the top. Now it needs to be on the bottom. And I'm going to have liters on the top. So 1 quart is 0.946 liters. Again, that's just from the table on the top of the first page. And then I know that I can go from liters to milliliters. So liters was on the top of the second one, now it's on the bottom of the third one. 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. Before I actually multiply, I cancel out quarts and quarts, liters and liters. When I multiply across the top and round, I wind up with 8,514. Sorry about that. 8,514 milliliters. Again, I'm rounding to the nearest one. All right, all of you guys go ahead and try number 3. Going down to the last part, we have a couple of word problems. The first word problem says, scientists have observed manatees weighing as much as 454 kilograms. What is this weight in pounds? So we're given kilograms, we want to turn it into pounds. So I'm going to start by writing 454 kilograms over 1, because that's how we always start. And then I'm going to multiply in a fraction. Kilograms is going to be at the bottom, because it's on the top of the first one. I have a pound to kilogram conversion, okay, from the table. So I know that 1 pound is 0.454 kilograms. Okay. So I can cancel out kilograms and kilograms. I multiply across the top, I get 454 pounds over multiply across the bottom, I'm 0.454. When I divide those out, I get 1,000, and my only unit is pounds. So I'm done. Alright guys, I'll leave number 2 for you guys to figure out, and that's it for unit 4 part 2.